Everyone, my name is Petra Kutlesa and I'm from Croatian Agency for the Environment and Nature, and I will tell you something about plant eradication measures in Croatia. At the beginning, just a few facts about vascular plants of Croatia. In total, in Croatia there is 5,014 species and subspecies, and 384 of them is endemic species, and 27 of them are under EU Habitat Directive. From the 2008, there is an official list, preliminary list of invasive alien plants of Croatia, and on this list was 64 species. And as you can see, till in the last 8 years, this number increased to 74 invasive alien species. And they're all in the database of vascular flora of Croatia, which is available online and which is regularly updated by the Faculty of Science in Zagreb. And now I'll tell something more about eradication measures. First measures is conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture, and the species is Ambrosia artemisifolia, which cause serious allergic reactions. So the Ministry of Agriculture had issued an order on measure for compulsory removal of Ambrosia artemisifolia from agricultural land and all our other public and private green areas. And this order is in force since 2007, and supervision of this implementation of this order shall be carried out by the phytosanitary inspection, forestry inspection, and agricultural inspection. It would be hardly possible to remove Ambrosia artemisifolia from the whole territory of Croatia, because it is widespread, especially on the continental part of Croatia. But we can say that this measure is effective on all public areas. In Croatia, all natural and artificial water courses manage state water agency, and this agency have to develop annual management plans, and in Nature Protection Act stipulate that this management plan should include nature protection conditions. And for this purpose, Croatian Agency for the Environment and Nature has developed around 70 nature protection conditions, which are standardized, and this measure should are referring to the whole biodiversity of ecological network. So among all these measures are also measures for invasive alien species in water courses, and particularly for the Morpha fruticosa and Ambrosia artemisifolia, which should be removed from the inundation zones several times annually. Also in 2014 in Croatia was found Heracleum montegacianum during one floristic research in northern part of Croatia on the area of 200 square meters. And the same year control measures have been taken by the Croatian Agency for the Environment and Nature and the Public Institution for Management of Protected Nature Values of Krapina-Zagorje country, in which giant hogweed was found. Here you can see that the first year the plant was found in late summers, so the the plant was already well developed, so it was only possible to remove these fructifying flowers and safely remove them. And during the next year, we have repeated the action. And in the meantime, the landowner has already mowed this area. And you can see that the plants were much smaller, but it will be necessary to make one much serious eradication action to completely remove this plants from the area, and this is the plan of this public institution which manage this area. And more about this eradication action you can find also in this article. Now I will say something about EU project which will be conducted in next years. One of them is financed from EU Structural Investment Fund and is conducted by the Ministry of the Environmental and Nature Protection, and which is preparing eradication methodology for invasive alien species. And there is around 6 species which will be eradicated from the territory of Croatia, and the ministry has focused on the nature protected areas and islands, which are preferably also Natura 2000 sites. And one of these species will be Ailanthus altissima. You can see it is distributed on the whole territory of Croatia, and it was be hardly possible to eradicate it from the whole territory. So we have proposed to eradicate it from the islands where it is still localized. And as the pilot study area, National Park Kornati and Nature Park Telaščica has been selected. So during this year, experts for invasive alien plants will conduct field research on these 2 localities and propose the appropriate eradication methodology for eradication of Ailanthus altissima. And from the beginning of 2070, eradication will start it. Also, another EU project is related to invasive alien species. This is Croatian Rural Development Program for the period 2014-2020, Measure 4, which is conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture. And in this project are proposed 5 invasive alien species: Ailanthus altissima, Morpha fruticosa, Renutria iraponica, and Sahalinensis, and Robinia pseudoacacia. And for these species, incentives will be given to landowners to remove them. And these incentives will depend on the area under succession, and it will depend of methodology which will be used for eradication. And last week, Ministry has announced tender for calculation of this methodology, so we will know more about it until the end of this year, and we can expect this measure will start also at the beginning of the 2017. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Again, we have time for questions.
Okay. So, as I understood, you have a general act that put for the landowners obligation for removing of ambrosia.
Yes.
What about the other mentioned species? Are there some similar acts,
No.
legal acts, or this is just?
This is just for ambrosia.
What about
Renutria.
legal basis for
Yes.
activities for removing the other species?
Yes, but we know that ambrosia make allergic reaction to people, so they are more sensitive to ambrosia to remove it. And for measures to include some other plants on in this, we don't have enough people who will supervise it implementation, and people are not interested to remove something what doesn't cause them some healthy problems. So I think that is the most important problem for not just pronounce that some new order, and you need to have some resources to implement it also.
Okay, thank you. Other question? No? Let's go for next lecture.